Well, it has been one hot minute since I've last seen you. Welcome back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'll get into this in a couple moments. For those of you returning, I'm happy to have you back. For those of you who are just stumbling upon and new to this channel, welcome. My name is Brendan. I am one of the co-owners of The Rustic Tub, our small bath and body care business in the heart of tiny Ontario. So you may have noticed that we didn't upload for, I think, the last 3-4 weeks it was. And that was because we had a lot going on. So we had friends visiting from out west, and after they left, we ended up having family visit from the London, UK. So we were playing tourist with all of them and enjoying our time with that. So we did take a little bit of a prolonged holiday, and I did realize that I didn't have any videos to back up. So instead, we did just go MIA for a little bit, but we are back here now to bring you our fall line introduction of one of our products. And going back to that nice little fun wordplay doing all of that, it was nice to have a little bit of a breather. I'm so happy to be coming back into this, to be coming back to you, to be keeping up with everything, because it was nice to step away. So I will say, as a small business owner, if you are doing this, if you're debating doing this, do set that time aside for me time or self-care time. Because often as a small business, self-care isn't something that we do, and it's really something that we should be doing. So it was a nice reset button, but I am looking forward to going into this because we already launched our fall line. I'm going into it more this time around. For today's video, we're actually making something that we haven't shown yet to you, and we'll give you a little bit more of a backstory for it. I know there's always this wonderful monologue whenever we start these videos. So aside from doing our bath bombs, our soap, we also do sugar scrubs, body butters, shampoo, hair care. We've dived into face care, beard care with beard oils, beard balms, and even the odd deodorant, still in trial. So we literally do have everything. So for this video, we are doing our sugar scrubs. So not only are you seeing something new, but you're also getting something new because it's been 3 weeks since anything's been uploaded. So going into our version of our sugar scrubs, we will say when we first started doing sugar scrubs, we did purchase recipes from people on Etsy, other YouTube people as well, just to get a feel for what to expect. And in all honesty, sugar scrub can be as easy as 3 ingredients. That's, of course, being the sugar, an oil or a butter to go into it to kind of keep it all together, and fragrance or essential oils. And there are some people out there who do that, which is absolutely great. And for us, though, we are taking ours just a couple steps more than 3 ingredients. And so these ingredients that we have before us is our amalgamation of what we've learned, what we've sought out, and different kind of blends. So when we were playing with ingredients, I actually have like pages of little notes here and there of what works, what's going to be good, what we can replace with what, how do we make it our own, and what essentially is going to be the wonderful math skills that you need behind it for your sugar scrub to be good. So that's a lot of long-windedness. We did come up with this little recipe ourselves just a couple weeks ago, and we did bring it out with our fall line launch with all of our new sugar scrubs with our new recipe. So we're very excited to be bringing this one forward to you. And without further ado, we're just going to go ahead and kind of talk about what we're going to be putting in our sugar scrubs today. Okay, so to start us off strong, we do a mixture of our sugars. So we obviously have our fine white sugar here located with us, and then we have our brown sugar. Just because brown sugar absorbs a lot of moisture better than a white sugar. So our sugar scrub is actually going to be a little bit more dense and less of a fluffy texture, but it's also going to give you different textures that your skin's going to enjoy for the exfoliant. Position number 2, because it's closest to me, it is our Dermabin Plus. And then for today, because I have mentioned it's our fall line, we're doing our fall sugar scrub. We are using Autumn Jam from Fizz Fairy. And I know a couple videos ago, I did say it's really nice if you blend up your own fragrances here and there, your own little essential oil blends. Honestly, I have been in love with this one since we made a soap with it. And for me, I have to make this a sugar scrub. So we're making it the sugar scrub today. Coming off of that, we have our cocoa glucoside. So that is our thickening agent along with our sodium lactate. That's just going to give it body and hold so it's not going to fall apart. A little bit of distilled water, just because there does have to be a water content in it for everything to combine properly when it's melted. And then we have our SCI powder, also bioturge as well. So if you are running low on SCI, you can blend in a bioturge. It is essentially going to give you the exact same effect of a surfactant. So this is what we have left because I did not put in an order. So I did mix SCI and bioturge together for this blend. Moving on right from that one, we have our avocado oil. We throw that into every single one of our products. I say that every video. We're going to get old to saying that really, really fast because that's essentially our brand is our avocado oil. We have castor oil and glycerin because these are two products that hold moisture to the body and they draw it into the body. So by using this, you're actually bringing that moisture to your body that you need. So you're going to remove the dead skin cells and your body's going to thank you as it will be nice, smooth, and glistening like wonderful magic. Our last three ingredients that we're throwing into this, we have our emulsifying wax, which is a soy-based wax material. That's going to make it withhold in the heat, so nothing's going to turn into a liquid after. We got cocoa butter because we love a good cocoa butter for the skin. And we're also using stearic acid to throw in that protein that the skin naturally uses up, naturally produces. We're throwing that boost to you. So with that one, if I've missed anything off the table, it doesn't look like it in the camera. But if I've missed anything, I will be going over it with our little step-by-step. So we're going to clear this off, do our measurements, and I will see you very, very shortly within a couple seconds of a different angle. Obviously, first things first, you want to get gloved up because protection is key, because these are other people's products at the end of the day that you are making. To start this off, we are going to be going ahead, adding in our distilled water. And I will say, because we are doing a bit of a smaller blend, we're just doing about five batches or 5 jars, not batches, I should say, of this. I am mixing our ingredients as an in-between of our small batch to our largest batch. Next up is our sodium lactate, and this is just going to add hardness, or not hardness, but solidness into our sugar scrub. And you want it to have like a really thick body because watery sugar scrub just does not sound appealing. Okay, and we are going to end it out with our cocoa glucoside. So we're going to go ahead and get this nice little angle in. Get it to the number I need it to. There we go. The one thing I will message about this from here on out is a lot of the times you can split your ingredients list up into a part A, a part B, and a part C. And for our sugar scrub, we're actually all just going to group it into a big group A until the very end where we will have a different group B or group 2 little cycle for it. So I'm still going to go ahead and fill this up and we will have the same results as we normally do. So moving on. So coming in hot, we are using our glycerin now. And like I said before, glycerin is really good to draw in that moisture. Next up is our castor oil. Once again, this is another moisturizing agent that your body thanks you for. It seeks out the moisture and brings it into the body, so your body will stay moisturized longer. And up next, our staple ingredient into everything, it is our castor oil, and just a little splash of that. Okay, side note, I did think I just said is our castor oil. This is our avocado oil that I just threw in. If I said castor, I am having a good brain fart right now. So that was glycerin, castor, and our avocado oil. Okay, next one. And with our oils, we're now just going to be throwing in some of our emulsifying wax, just to give it some nice body to the scrub. So it won't melt in high heats and will be thicker longer. Coming up is our cocoa butter. So a while back, we had a nice little heat wave. It It melted all of our cocoa butter into a nice brick. So we're just going to go ahead, add it in piece by piece. Sure, melting will take longer, but it's in there. Okay, coming in hot with a little bit of stearic acid. Once again, this just helps add protein to the body to make it healthier. And you can see we did not put in a lot for that one because you don't need a lot for stearic acid. And finally, we have our mixture of our SCI and our bioturge. And this is going to be the good surfactant that you want for a sugar scrub to foam up and give you that nice, clean feeling. It also means I have to put in a very large order for the next one because I forgot to the last couple weeks from vacation. Okay, now the fun part, because it's all together, I'm just going to go ahead, mix it up the way I can. And it's not going to look pretty right now because there are hard granules. There's the cocoa butter in there. I'm just doing this to incorporate the bioturge and the SCI powder, just so that when it does heat up all at once, it's going to be one big uniform grouping, and it'll just be a lot faster for melting down. And with it looking like that, it looks like a really, really runny bad porridge. We're going to throw this on our burner and let it all melt down until it is a consistent viscosity, which is a fancy word for liquid that's the same that's thick. Moving on to the last portion, I'm just throwing together our Germabin, which is going to be our preservative. And I will say Germabin, Germabell, and Panthenol, they all kind of become brats when it comes to temperature. So that is one thing I learned the hard way, is you have to let it get to a certain temperature before adding it in. So this is why this one is a bit of a separate process. And then from there, I'm going to go ahead and add in our Autumn Jam fragrance, which has become, I think, one of my new favorite fragrances out there right now. For now, since it's done, you can just leave it like this. I got a little baby spatula I found at the dollar store that I absolutely just love for this. I'm going to go ahead, give it a nice little stir, waft it up into the air and enjoy it, and set it aside until we are ready to add. Okay, now comes our fun part, our sugar adding portion of the video. Because we are using two different types of sugars, it's very important to add and note that by using anything brown, so like this brown sugar, even a golden yellow sugar, if you add color to this, it's going to turn it into an automatic earth tone. So keep that in mind if you want to color your sugar scrubs. This will darken the colors. It's also perfect because this is what I want for a fall color. I want them to be dark. So for this blend, it's perfect. If you are trying to go for something pastel, maybe just stick with white sugar, or you can even do salt scrubs as well. But for us today, this is perfect for what I need. And this has been our blend going forward for about 2 months now. I had to look at my calendar and actually look at it. And yeah, we've been doing this for about 2 months. So when I said a couple weeks, that's a lie. It was a couple months. Okay, for this one, since it's already one texture, it's an easy just pour in. I don't have to worry about breaking up any hard crystallized granules from the brown sugar, because white sugar comes out nice and fine. And because this sugar scrub is called an autumn jam, we might as well make it a jam color. So I'm actually mixing a bit of lavender with, I believe, lipstick red mica powders from Fizz Fairy. So I'm going to leave it at that. If I have to add more, I'll know when I'm adding it into the mix. This is just for fun right now for the colors that we're doing to it. So this is it for this process. We're going to let it all sit off to the side, and then we're going to go ahead and wait for everything to fully melt down. All right, with everything heated up and melted, you can kind of see that it is like a very, very runny pancake batter, like one of the box ones where you add a little bit too much water and you get what you get and it's going to be the worst pancake in the world. No, this is what you want for our sugar scrubs. So we're going to go ahead. I just pulled it off the burner. You can see how the liquid state is still there, but it is fairly thick. We're going to let this cool down, add in our preservative for it, and then we're going to do a nice little mixy mix of that one and throw it into our sugar to get that whipped out. All right, fun fact of the day. In order to showcase your video, you have to record your video. So I didn't hit the button when I thought I hit the button, so I was just recording nothing while this was all cooling down. But I did throw in and I added in our Germabin and our fragrance, so I did hit it with the electric mixer to go off. And then I'm just kind of cleaning off our little mixy bit with the little baby tiny spatula that I am obsessed with. And once you get a good amount off, you're gonna leave it off to the side. We're holding on to that baby. Swap it out. Throw this fun little part in. I'll put the baby one down. And we're gonna go ahead and literally just add it to our sugar mix. Okay, once everything's in the bowl, we're going ahead. We're going to throw this into our big mixer with a different add-on than what you've normally seen, and we are going to blend this all up. So let's head over there now. So I will say I do keep this little bowl just off to the side from our mixer, just because it'll let me put the spatula or the nozzle bit that we need just off to the side so we don't make a mess with sugar, because as you all know, sugar gets wonderfully sticky with the overuse. So we're going to go ahead, hook it up now so you can see the color change in effect, and we will be right on back to jar it all. So I realized with the mixing of this video and going back to editing that I have been having the most horrific fun time with pushing that record button. So going forward, I have this beautiful monologue of how I lift up the lever on it, how I scoop out the sugar so it's all even, so you don't get any sugar towards the bottom of it because you want the air to go in. But because of the brown sugar, it's going to be dense, so it's going to be a low sitting sugar scrub. I thought I hit the record button. I did. I just recorded the wrong thing as always. So there was like a 5-minute clip of just this mixing. But anyway, this is the sugar scrub batter that we want to go for. It is still fairly warm, so it will be a little bit runny, but you can see just when I held that up, trying to like let it down so it doesn't kick off the microphone here. You can see that it is fairly thick when I tilted it up. It took a while for it to get to that point. So now it's our jarring option. So we have our little amber glass jars. It goes well with our brand, Rustic. We go along with it. We love these little jars, by the way. It is scooping time. So these are the 8-ounce ones. So we will make sure it is 8 ounces in there. And with our fancy little ice cream scoop, you just go ahead and plop it in. And I know it probably doesn't look exciting from this angle, so I'm going to switch up the camera angle for our next one. So we get that like nice scooping little motion. You can see how thick of like a droopy ice cream, that's the only word I got at the top of my head right now, that this is going to look like. And I do like the color. It will darken a lot too the more it sets up. So it just needs that nice little kickoff time. And then once that's good, we go ahead and finish it out. And all that's left now, you literally throw your lid onto the jar. These babies are ready to go. Like, they got some good hold to them as is. I like our sugar scrubs to be thick because I find that if they are a little bit on the runnier side, then they're just going to get runnier as the water gets added to it. So for me, it's like a Dairy Queen Blizzard. You flip it upside down, things are good to go. She's thick enough to handle, can be used right away. And because we use that Germabin, it does last up to 6 months to a year is the regular shelf life. But let's get closer. So as you can see, the color is a fairly light one right now, but because of that brown sugar in there, it's almost an earthy pastel, if that makes sense. I know I said like, if you want dark sugar scrubs, that's what you want. This does get darker over time. So within 24 hours, the mica powder is really going to kick in there. So it will darken up and it will be a lot more earth tone. And with that done, that means our video is wrapping up for this week. We will be coming back into our regular schedule. I believe there's no more surprise visits from anyone coming by. But if you like what you see, feel free to like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. I think that takes care of YouTube. And if you want to follow us along or give a nice little round of applause for us, we do have our recipe on Patreon available for our top tier. And even if you just want to give a little shout out, we never say no to that. But for now, thank you so much for tuning in or stumbling upon, and we will see you next time, everyone. Bye.